Whoa! Wow! So this is FL Studio. This is my little tutorial on how to use this crazy thing. So to start off with, we're gonna start with basics here. This right here is the channel rack. This is where you can put all your instruments, all your all your plugins, and it also comes whenever you open a project from here, the file. It comes with these 4 instruments, which you can use to make a, simple little beat like this. Or, like this. Oh, hold on. It's, simple beats like that. And also from here, you can adjust the instrument's volume. So, let's say that's too loud. That's way too loud. So let's turn it down. Oh, wow. Wow, it's getting quieter. Wow, whoa. Wow. Then I turn it back up, and oh, it's loud. It's pretty loud. Let's just reset that. So, what else can we do here with this channel rack thingy? Well, if you click either here on this little key looking thing, or you go up to add and then browse plugin database, you can get your plugins. Ignore that, I was working on something earlier. But here in the plugins, you can, it's easier to go here first because it's just like, oh, this is basically everything, but this is the main plugins like the synthesizers and stuff. But they're under generators, but they're really synths. So here there's like some stuff you can mess with, like drum synthesizers. Oh god. Shut up. Drum synthesizers, like FPC. FPC is just like a basic native plugin. It's a little. Anyway, so let's just hop right in. So what you're gonna do? Well, I guess you don't have to do this, but it's to start off, you're gonna want to choose your plugins. Now, this is a fairly easy process. I'm going to choose my personal favorite plugin, one that I've used in a lot of my songs, Harmless. Boom. Now, don't get scared just yet. This is normal. This is the plugin master channel thingy. It has an actual name, I just forgot it. But here you can adjust how the instrument itself sounds. So let's say you want it to sound really high pitched. I believe this is it, right? See? That's not the same as this. And there's lots of knobs here, but that's not important right now. What is important is learning how to use presets. Presets are basically the best thing ever because they let you get results with doing very little work. You could spend like an hour or so making a custom sounding synth in this mess, or you could just do this. Boom, bap, you got a list of synthesizers. So I'm going to choose one that I have already pre-made. I believe it's this one. Just a simple, soft-sounding little blippy blippy. And I'm going to make a simple little chord progression. So what you can do is you can either, judge sounds like this, or if you're lazy like me, you can go up here to stamp. Stamp is basically just some pre-made chord progressions. Well, not progressions, but pre-made chords. And you can choose from this whole list of stuff. So let's choose major ninth or minor ninth because I like that one a lot. And what you're gonna want to do after you choose one of those is find a bass note. I'm gonna choose C5 because this is just the bass note for every instrument. And what it does is it makes a chord. Like that. Yeah. Oh. Also, if you hit Control and then mouse click and do this, you can select any notes that you've highlighted. And if you want to clone these notes, you could just do Control B and it'll clone the notes exactly. Not exactly where they've been placed relative to the bars, but you know, you know what I mean. So you can mess around with this. You can just be like, boom, I want that there. I want these up here. You know, I want this down there. Something to note as well, if you do use stamp, is that you can't delete notes individually for some reason, because once you do that, it just deletes all the notes. So, while stamp is fun to use, it's sort of recommended that, I recommend anyway, that you just, you know, make your own chords. It's easier that way to make nice progressions. But so we've got a nice little progression here. And it's like, wow, it's a nice progression. Let's turn it up a little bit. And then, oh yeah, I'm terrible. But once you have your pattern done, your pattern that you want done, you can do this. Go to View Playlist, bam, then this block shows up. This is basically where you're going to be organizing the song. So you can put stuff all over the place. You can even put it in between bars if you want. Like, look at this. If you zoom in, that's not in a bar, that's like in half a bar. This is crazy. But yeah, you can have it so it just loops forever, loops forever. Oh. That's a nice loop. And it'll loop forever, even when you play the song and it ends in the quote-unquote playlist. It'll just loop, like that. So, now that you've got a loop going on, you might be like, hey, that's cool and all, but I don't want to clutter up this channel, this pattern, with a bunch of instruments like this. Like, that's dumb. Well, you don't have to. If you go up to here where it says pattern, it should be set to pattern 1, but for some reason mine's pattern 4. But if you go up here and you hit insert 1 after right clicking, it'll create a new pattern for you. I'm gonna name this one Baum. And what you can do is you can just fill this up with whatever your little heart desires. You want some kicks and claps and some snares? They're not snares, it's hats. Go for it. Also, if you ever want to listen to a channel rack, hold on, let me start with this explanation. So, what I did when I placed down these patterns onto this playlist was I changed the tracker from being in the channel rack to being in the playlist. To fix this so you can actually hear what you're putting in here as opposed to just hearing this, is you go to the channel rack and then you hit song pattern mode. Once it's like this, it'll switch between either the playlist or the pattern, depending on what you have it set as. So, there. So once you got that done, you can just click on the pattern right here, just click on it, and it'll set that as your paint tool, so you can just paint the pattern back on there. You know, just get that going there. And it's really simple to do. From there, you can do a lot of things. You can add more instruments, you can just do a bunch of crazy nonsense. You can add this. That's nice. Also, if you're using a keyboard and you want to do that or whatever, it's kind of weird because they're not mapped to the keyboard directly. Only some of the keys will work, but you know, that's fine, I guess. So another thing that you can do with instruments, just get rid of that, we're not going to make this too complex a song. another thing you can do with instruments is if you click on the name of the instrument, it'll open up this again, and you can go to this, miscellaneous functions. What happens in here is stuff. You can adjust the volume, make it go to the left, you also do this. Don't worry if this happens, just do this. Boom. Probably, jeez. No, okay, don't. Huh. Well, you know, there's always a time for mistakes. But, you know, it's an easy fix. Well, you know, that wasn't supposed to happen. Hold on, I can fix this. Huh. No, this has never happened to me before. I'm very sorry. I was trying to be professional. There you go. There you go. Damn it. Okay. Wait. There we go. It's good enough. So what you can do in here as well is this cool little thingy called arpeggiate. So let's go back to our pattern here. So I'm just gonna move this over. It's really disconcerting when it's all the way over. Sorry. I'm sorry. This has never happened. Anyway. So we got our pattern here. We got our little, and what you can do with arpeggiate is make it so that it alternates between the notes as it goes along. So rather than just play all the notes at once, as it goes along, it'll either go down from the note or go up from the note, or just real crazy like this. So that's nice for background sounds. And range over here will increase will make the pitch higher, so it'll sound like this. So if we go back to our song, now you may be thinking to yourself, hey, why are these so loud? Why is it so obnoxious? Well, fear not. That's where these knobs come in. I might have mentioned them already, but I'm going to mention them again. With these knobs, you can adjust the volume. So let's say you want these to be only 60% audible instead of 70% audible. Well, you can do that. And it'll totally work, depending on the instrument. Sometimes it'll just sound like nothing, and then it'll sound This is just really amateurish mastering, and I'll go into mastering in a bit. But, yeah, this is just for, like, simple melodies that you want to make. Another thing you can do is mess around with the tempo. I probably should have mentioned this earlier. But here's the tempo. This is beats per minute. And you can just click on it and drag down or up to make it faster or slower. So if we set to 100 instead of 130, set it up, it sounds more hectic. Let's set it back to 130 because that's where I made it. 125 actually. No, it's just 110, whatever. Yeah, that's good. So we got all this stuff, and it's like, what the heck is any of this? Well, these are just the generators, as I said. But, as well, there are some effects. Now, these effects are kinda iffy sometimes, and it's better to just use the effects in the mastering, in the mixer. But, you know, you can add them directly to the instruments if you want. They do pretty much the same thing, so you might as well just put it into the mixer. Oh yeah, these are the mixer tracks, these numbers right here. So if I set this as 2, the kick and the clap will be on the same track. So if I open up the track, if I open up the mixer, I can turn off the other instruments. See how both the kick and the clap are activated? See? Also, in the channel rack, I'm sorry, I'm going over a bunch of stuff, but in the channel rack, you can just turn off instruments. So if you want to single out instruments, that's a good way of doing it. Let me just change that before, because we aren't even using snares. We don't need to use snares, guys. So, now you're probably wondering, what are these things? I've been... these are the pitch and the volume. So if I turn this down, it'll be really quiet. Or if I turn it up, it'll be loud. Or it'll just be normal. And here's the pitch, obviously. What I find is that pitch is usually the most influential option when it comes to mastering a song. That sounds totally different from this, doesn't it? You know, the pitch can really change the emotion of a song, so, you know, that's fun to mess around with. Get out of here, you. So, I mentioned packs, or maybe I didn't, maybe I just mentioned everything. But in here is where all of your saved things are. So you got your sliced beats.
Avoid the noise.
That's a sample I use in a song. Some things I stole from another artist. I'm sure people will notice this one. And as well as the drum packs. These are the most fun to use, in my opinion, because I mean I don't know how to use FPC and all that properly. Oh yeah, I should probably show you how to use FPC. Okay, FPC and most of these drum pads are pretty simple to understand. Let me just make a new pattern here. I'll name it there. So the way these work is that if you click on these arrows, it will just auto-generate a beat for you. So, you know, you can mess around. There's tons of different loops, like breakbeat. As well, in the presets, it's no longer like a huge list of random sounds. It's just kits. So if I change it to 808s, you know, these are fun to mess around with. As well, I forgot to mention, there's another thing that you can do up here in there, is that if you select these notes and go to tools, you can randomize them. That's fun. As well, there's another thing in here I meant to show. What is it? I barely use it, but it's pretty fun actually. It's what the heck? Where is it? Was it randomized? There was something here, but basically, it helps to randomize the velocity, which is basically how loud the initial hit is, and the pitch. I did it on another song of mine, and it was really cool. Oh, well, that's something you can figure out. Wow. Figuring out stuff is fun. So anyway, that's basically how to use, like, FPC and, Drum Axe, which is okay, I guess. It's not as cool. You know, it's just whatever. What the heck? Yeah, Drum Axe is, it's alright if you need it, I guess. So, we got a little beat here, but it's like, hey, let's make it even cooler. Where is it? Now in the mixer you can add a lot of effects, like fruity reverb, my personal favorite, which helps to make the song sound a lot more echoey and ethereal. dryness is basically how distant it sounds, so if we turn both these down, this will sound really far away. Or quiet, I guess. Turn it up, it sounds closer. Keep it there, it's like close. And this changes how bouncy the quote-unquote wall is. So if you turn it up, it'll sound a lot more echoey. I usually keep this at 3 because it's a good number. Gets that good reverb going. And also, if you click on this and then drag up or down, you can change just how it echoes. I prefer this wide area because it's not too invasive. As well, you can add some cool things like flanger, which will basically just do like a sort of sweeping sound. I wouldn't recommend it on the master channel though. Maybe on the channel, like maybe let's try the arpeggiate thing. That's interesting, right? But we don't need it. So another thing, let's just add a simple chord here so I can show you this, is side chaining. Side chaining is quite possibly one of the greatest inventions in trap music history. So let's... jeez, that's irritating. Let's get something... a good... it's too orchestral. This is another thing. You want to get associated with your presets. I'm an idiot, so I didn't. There we go, that's good.
So yeah, it's been a day, but let's work on side chaining. So, damn it. To side chain, you're just gonna wanna get whatever he needs. I just woke up. Hold on. The best way to test if a side chain is working is to just get one solid note. That's good, I guess. So let's just I mean, all the stuff I'm doing right now doesn't really need explaining. This is just stuff that we've practiced. Ignore that, it's my sister. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get a kick. Wow, that's how I spell it. We don't really need all these because we're not going to be making a song out of this. We're just going to be showing how to sidechain. So we're just going to set this as 1 and 2. And then... okay. And then we're going to lay it out. Now, you can barely even hear the kick. Like, what's up with that, right? Let me turn this down. So what you want to do is you're gonna go to the mixer, you're gonna open that up and see the kick. You're gonna have it. You're gonna have the kick. You're gonna go down to here, this little arrow thingy. Right click, sidechain to this track, and nothing should happen, but it should have this little line in it when you click on it. See that little line that's going up there? You can probably not see. From there, you're gonna go to the track that you've sidechained the kick to, and you're going to put a limiter on it. So you're just gonna go to Fruity Limiter, and then you're gonna go to Compress. This is basically showing you how it's working. You're gonna turn the threshold down to however you like, and then you're gonna turn the ratio up. And then you're just gonna mess with this until you get something good. Notice how it has that wow wow sort of effect going. If you turn up the ratio, it should be deeper. See, that's where the kick is, so the kick is a lot more noticeable. So we can do something cool with that. Hold on. Check this out. See, if you want the kick to be more noticeable, you could just turn the ratio up even more and then the threshold down. Also, attack doesn't really do anything here. And gain just turns it up all the way. And that's how you sidechain, and you can do lots of cool stuff with that. Like if I go back to the channel rack and hold on. Notice that if I get rid of it, it'll just sound like a solo note. So that's how you sidechain, which basically accentuates the kick. And that's pretty much the basics of FL Studio. It's good. You could also do this. You just do this. Hold on. There we go. You can also do this. Where's it? Yeah, here we are. Hold on. There you go. Thanks for watching. And make music.